The Jägermeister Cup returns with the clash of greens on a sweltering day at Paladin Stadium here on ESPN+. It's the Greenville Triumph and Lexington Sporting Club ready for battle, presented by Blue Choice Health Plan. Welcome one and all to this broadcast. I'm Mark Schoenstern, and to my right is Ross Davenport. We're back to the Jägermeister Cup play. It's been a hot minute. Usually we've been doing those alternating weeks, but now it's been 2 weeks back to Jägermeister Cup play as we remind you on how we sit in the standings. First off, the Greenville Triumph, the host side, as we look at the standings brought to you Hopkins Eye Center, sitting atop their group. 2 wins, 2 draws, good amount of goals scored, but more goals is always a good thing in this cup competition. Could end up being the difference between making the knockout round and missing it. Meanwhile, Lexington, one of those teams that is looking at those goals scored as it stands at the moment, sitting in second place, just a point behind Madison. So they are still very much in contention for that first place spot and making it to the playoff round through winning their group. But that's all of what has happened. Let's take a look at how things went down in those games, starting with the Greenville Triumph, a 3-1 victory on the road against Tormenta, a game in which Liam McKinnon really took over in the end.
Yeah, Greenville continued their hot run against Tormenta, a team that had owned them a season or two back. Greenville with a 3-1 win here. Leo Castro opening the scoring in the 5th minute. Austin Wenner took advantage of a bit of poor defending by Greenville to tie things up just in the 13th minute, and we would stay 1-1 until the last 10 minutes mark.
Liam McKinnon then would come to the rescue with a late game brace. The game winner right here to make it 2-1, and then he would add icing on the cake a couple minutes later. Here is our look at our player to watch, and it's got to be Liam McKinnon. I mean, this guy has been a goal-scoring machine, a goal contribution machine. He has been so effective.
I would say certainly the MVP favorite at the moment in USL League One. 20 shots taken in his last 3 games, a guy that every opposing team has to account for now, but you can't afford to pay too much attention to him because Leo Castro will make you pay if you give him too much space.
Certainly. Now, looking at the last matchup in Jägermeister Cup play for Lexington, they went on the road against their barrel brawl rivals, won Knoxville, and were, unfortunately for them, bested 2-0.
Yes, their only loss in Jägermeister Cup so far for Lexington, and also the only team to beat Madison in the same competition. They haven't lost in League One. Madison, they outshot Knoxville 10-8 in this one, but goals by Chrysler and Frank Ross here with his nice left-footed finish in the second half were the difference.
Nico Brown, one of those players who they'll be looking to step up today. Former Greenville Triumph player, also scored last weekend.
Yeah, the former Greenville man, he didn't see many starts during his time with the Triumph under John Hartz, but had 30 starts last season after the move to Kentucky. Moved back to more of a super sub role this year with the tons of offensive weapons added by Taron Powell. You mentioned scored last week, and should be looking to score against his former team tonight.
Some high-profile names are going to clash in just a few minutes, so get yourself ready for some cup drama after this break on ESPN+. It's Greenville Triumph and Lexington Sporting Club on the other end of this break.
Cycling was a lifesaver. It really was.
You know, when we first talked about the business, I could tell it was more than just a new direction for you.
Yeah, it's a full-time passion now.
It wasn't the easiest journey, was it?
Hanging on for the ride, that's half the fun. Staying ahead of your competition, that's the other half.
There's always more ground to cover. Let's find a way.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care from our family to yours.
This broadcast is brought to you by Blue Choice Health Plan, celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2024. Blue Choice offers a variety of health and dental plans to serve the needs of South Carolinians. Learn more at bluechoicesc.com. Jägermeister is proud to be presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. First off, for the Greenville Triumph, Pretty standard formation here, Ross.
Yeah, a little surprising. They got the week off after that. We thought perhaps some of the guys that have racked up a ton of minutes would get a break, but not the case with just the one change. Ben Zakowski in for Zion Scarlets.
Now let's take a peek at what the visiting side has got going with Darren Powell. It's going to be more of a 5-4-1. This is roughly what it's going to look like, but they've been running with this defensive structure as of late.
Yeah, just the one change for Darren Powell, and that was a forced one. Jorge Corrales, after that red card last weekend, comes out. Ebenezer Akon comes in for him. Obviously a ton of injuries still for Darren Powell. Yank and Lancaster, obviously two key contributors, remain on the sidelines.
A like-for-like switch as far as, or not like for like, but a suspension for suspension switch for Lexington. Ebenezer Akon had to miss the last game due to a red card suspension. Now Corrales is the one out, which means Akon comes back in and fills in his slot. Lexington donning the black uniforms will be going right to left. Greenville in their lilac kits, left to right, and we are underway here in round 5 of the Jägermeister Cup. We once again welcome you in on ESPN Plus. My name is Mark Schoenster, and Ross Davenport will be providing his color analysis for these whole 90 minutes, and then some for our halftime and post-game content.
Greenville in their lilac kits, which apparently have been very popular amongst the fans in Greenville so far. Also had their Reedy River Riot designed warm-ups tonight.
Custom designed for benefit Upstate Pride. They will be auctioning them off.
Gunther Rankenberg continuing to claim that #1 spot in goal for Rick Wright. We perhaps thought we might see Christian Garner tonight after Gunther's run of games. They were alternating a lot earlier in the season, but it looks like Rankenberg has taken the reins of that spot in between the pipes. Of course, Lexington come into this game struggling in League One. This is a cup match, obviously. Here's a chance now, though.
Opportunity, and it hits the back of the net. Ates Diouf opens up the scoring. Lexington off and running on the road.
Just a long direct ball there, and Ates Diouf, we know what he can do. Everybody in League One has been waiting for this Lexington team to get things going on the offensive end. Came into tonight last in League One with only 23 shots on target. Greenville just got caught napping. That lovely first touch by Diouf to get it around Daniel Wu. And a composed finish.
It deflects off of Jamie Smith's heels, it appeared. Falls back to the lap of Ates Diouf, and he makes no doubt about it. That's his 3rd goal in Jägermeister Cup play. Hasn't scored yet in league action, but he's been able to find the back of the net quite often in these cup matches. And he'll continue that run of form here this evening.
We know how important goals are. It's the tiebreaker. 3 division winners get through to the semis, along with whichever team has scored the most goals of those that don't win the divisions. Lexington obviously in a battle with Fort Madison. And such a great season, they may need to get through via the wild card.
All right, well, let's take a look at our keys to the game in this one. Brought to you by Acumen IT. For Greenville, it's going to be offensive possession, meaning that Rick Wright wanted his side to not only enjoy possession, but to enjoy that possession in the opposing half. He wants his side to apply the pressure to Lexington. Now, things change a little bit for Lexington. Now they want to hold on to this advantage. They want to keep this 1-0 scoreline and maybe add on to it. They were able to get the early lead, the first half lead, I should more so say, on the road against Spokane last weekend. Ended up conceding early on in the beginning of the second half, and then, of course, at the end of the game, they were just hanging on after going down a man.
They also conceded late on a goal that came back for a very questionable offside. Good start for Lexington. Mentioned last in League One shots on target with 23. Greenville 56. Obviously 3 more games played in Lexington in league competition, but still an astounding stat when you consider the amount of offensive talent added this offseason by Darren Powell. Obviously Sam Stockley as well, former coach now in charge of the football operations in Lexington. Hasn't quite clicked yet.
So a goal from Diouf in the 2nd minute means Lexington have the early advantage in this one, which actually snaps a back-to-back streak that Greenville was holding, 2 straight clean sheets in matches. And it was pretty impressive, especially on top of the fact that this is a back line that's missing 2 of its key contributors in Brandon Fricke and Tyler Polak, 2 veteran presences on that back line. Instead, Daniel Wu and Oliver Hall stepping in on that left-hand side and have gotten the job done. And this is a different kind of breed of attackers here at Lexington. They've got some just pure attackers. And I mean, this is even in a state where some of them are not healthy at the moment.
Right. But
you still have Ates Diouf, Alexis Cerritos, and Nico Brown out there starting. So even with a couple of pieces and players missing, they still pose such a dangerous threat. It just hasn't all clicked together.
Yeah, Brandon Fricke with the ankle injury. Polak with the groin. Fricke came off the bench in their most recent game, but with the week off after this game, just being a cup contest, Rick Wright said it was easier just to limit them tonight, if not play at all, perhaps. We'll see how this game develops.
Herrera tries to slip this one through to Castro, and it's parried away by Robertson. It'll be a deep throw for Greenville. Schultz will put it in quickly. Velasquez to Schultz. Here comes the cross. Ryan McKinnon will track this one down.
Yeah, it was well defended there. Modesto Mendez getting in the right position against Leo Castro. Mendez, one of the 3 former Fort Lauderdale / Inter Miami 2 players, where Darren Powell was a head coach for so many years. On this starting 11 tonight, Bel Caputo, as well as Christian Liu Young, also part of Powell's setup there in South Florida.
Velasquez will deliver this corner kick. It is a sweltering day in Greenville, as I mentioned in the open, 86 degrees, but feels like 98 right now.
Lexington player down in the box. This is our goal scorer, battling there with Daniel Wu. For Deshaun Beard having a word. As always referees tend to do on the first corner these days, just to kind of get the nonsense out of the system. Still not happy with things.
Trying to keep the peace. Now the go-ahead is given. Herrera. Give it right back to Velasquez. Up top, here's a wind-up shot! Ryan McKinnon will earn himself another corner kick. Suffered a deflection. And that is not a guy you want to allow have a wind-up opportunity like that one.
Made good contact. Obviously clipped off a Lexington player.
Zakowski gets a piece of that one. And more effectively cleared away here. Oliver Hall on the ball. Greenville players are feeling pretty good right now. Rick Wright mentioned it's a long journey ahead, though, even though the form has been good as of late. Mentioned how competitive it's been in training. Talked about how they were a bit out of sorts in the first half against Knoxville, as Greenville will continue to try and knock it in here, but player goes down. Free kick for Lexington incoming.
This is concerning here. He's not moving. Oh, there he is, thankfully. Modesto Mendez took a shot from Jamie Smith. It was a beautiful cross by Schultz. Second one from him already tonight. And under pressure, too. Oh, he collided with the post. Wasn't much in the contact, but into the post. He appears to be all right.
1-1 draw on the road. All the way across the country for Lexington. They're doing some cross-country traveling at this moment, but able to get a point against Spokane Velocity. A good game throughout from our side, said Darren Powell, the head man for Lexington. Said that they absorbed pressure, limited their chances. And there's always a little bit of survival when you go down a man. But they got it done. He said the draw is probably a fair result. Home fans brought the energy. It's a great venue. I mentioned he couldn't say enough about what Spokane's got out there. And that seems to be the case with every coach that goes over to Spokane and plays a game there.
Of course, Lexington will have their own facility coming up later this season. Not sure exactly when. The renderings have looked beautiful. The outside fields are pretty much done. Just waiting on the stadium's completion. About September, we'll see it being used. Greenville still trying to get their stadium situation sorted out. We're having more discussions here. Referee Beard is almost like the middle school dance chaperone, keeping these defenders and attackers apart.
Service comes driving in. And Robertson gets a touch on it, and that was nearly a breakaway opportunity. It still could be. Robertson juggling this ball. A lot of bodies strewn about the field.
Referee Beard, I didn't see him give advantage for the high boot on Nico Brown. He sort of felt his face once and then decided to keep chasing and then felt it a second time. Break here. Chapa Herrera. Last ditch, he may have made contact. Nico went down in the end. Robertson tried to flick it over. Taken down in the process. Now a dangerous free kick here. We haven't seen Greenville being in trouble on the break much of late. It was a problem they had at times last season, getting beaten in transition. They've been much better this year. Obviously that man right there, as well as Chapa Herrera, have been a big reason for that improvement. Tate Robertson always dangerous on the set pieces.
Velasquez going into the books. I would imagine for dissent, since he was not the one who committed the foul. Tate Robertson, a guy who racked up goal contributions last season from set pieces, whether he scored them himself or put in a nice ball.
Yeah, we talked to Darren Powell about his adjusted role earlier this season, playing a little further back than he was last year. So more of a wing back now than a wing. Full back at times as well. See what he can do here.
He's a set piece maestro, couldn't get it through the wall. Frankenberg has to get that one out.
Nice ball too. Rick Wright talked about the confidence of Gunther Rankenberg playing the ball at his feet earlier this week. So he did a little Cruyff turn in the last game that took some people aback a little bit. It shows how confident he is now getting a run of starts.
Mendez will push this one forward once again. Smith lets it roll out. Cerritos was around, but Jamie Smith able to shield him off. It's been a interesting adjustment this season for all the coaches, adjusting to the interspersement of the Jägermeister Cup schedule. Most of them have talked about the trials with it. Rick Wright was actually pretty positive about the effect of the Jägermeister Cup. He said it's actually helped us, giving us a chance to see some of these guys in games. And ultimately, it's turned into some of them getting starting opportunities. Gunther Rankenberg was at first just the Jägermeister Cup guy. Now he's getting the looks in the league matches, and he's also keeping those looks here in cup play as well. On top of that, you've got defenders who were getting some looks in the Jägermeister Cup who now have to step up due to injuries. Robertson, curling cross will go out.
Yeah, you and I have talked to several coaches over the last few weeks as we approach the halfway point of the cup, and very differing opinions in this little test. You see, things may well change next year. Depending on how many teams we end up with in League One, we could have plenty of regular season matches to worry about. Maybe the cup will become a knockout thing, we'll see. I think it served its purpose this season.
Smith. Long ball up the pitch, over the head of Mendez, and he'll hit the eject button.
Yeah, Mendez got a little off balance there. Perhaps he was waiting for a mile night, but did enough to get it out of the way of Leo Castro.
Velasquez will get over to Schultz.
Lexington also without Khalid Balogun tonight, just joined Miami FC on loan. He's on the bench tonight against Detroit City in the USL Championship. Miami obviously in some need of help offensively with their struggles to start the season. They did score a couple last week. Keep an eye on that game, see if he gets involved. Lexington ladies in action today as well in the W League. See Lexington getting the Super League team coming up this summer, and they've made a couple of sneaky signings from the Greenville Liberty. Julie Mackin and Courtney Jones. Great to see ladies making the move up from the pre-professional leagues to the pros. Looking forward to the Super League getting started for sure.
Proof of the effectiveness of the pyramid already before the Super League has even had a game yet.
As we've seen how great the NWSL has been, how that league has grown over the years. Now we have a competing league, and cities that haven't been able to get an NWSL franchise now get a Super League. Obviously only starting with 8 teams, but expecting that to grow for sure next year and in the following years.
Brown. Take this one back to Emil Knight.
Knight, who obviously didn't see the end of the previous meeting between these two sides, was sent off for dissent. Watch out.
This one's given away. Castro to Velasquez. His shot scuffed by Akon.
Good job there by Lexington getting bodies between Velasquez and the goal. That's a poor giveaway there by Wu.
Perhaps one of those moments where Daniel Wu, a player who Rick Wright mentioned, very relaxed on the pitch, sometimes to his distress, yes, but also affects his decision-making. He's always calm and collected. Maybe that was one of those moments where maybe being a little bit more aggressive would have been beneficial.
Good work there by CZ Oche.
Oche getting a start here. Starting to get looks this season. He has a big role today trying to slow down Leo Castro.
Copa America going on right now. Several of these players with interests in that. Leo Castro, one of them. The Colombia team off to a great start in the group stages. Jamie Smith's England playing in Euros. Not so great of a start for England. They played tomorrow against Slovakia.
Not as great of a start. They still won their group.
They did, but not in spectacular fashion by any means. Liam McKinnon, Switzerland with a big win earlier today.
Yeah.
Over defending champions Italy. Certainly on the easier side of the draw.
Wonder if there's any trash talk between him and Pascal Corvino. Velasquez. This ball sent inside.
Corvino is Swiss and Italian, so he couldn't lose today. We talked to Rick Wright, obviously from Bermuda, a place with a big English influence. He said there is a love-hate relationship in Bermuda with England, but he said most of the residents there support England when it comes to the sporting side of things.
Liam McKinnon will provide service for the left corner flag. Ball bending in, Diouf gets a head on it. Now Zakowski. Zakowski's service comes in! And it's over the crossbar. Nate Schultz had an open look at it.
It really should be 1-1. Nate Schultz, not somebody who finds himself normally in the center of the penalty box, but with Zakowski coming wide, Nate Schultz really should have put that one away. Lovely cross by Zakowski. Greenville have been very effective with the balls in tonight so far. Jamie Smith is looking for a foul.
Fans, download the Fan Saves app and follow the Greenville Triumph for access to exclusive deals at your favorite restaurants and breweries. Diouf squares it inside Herrera. Over to Wu. They try to get out of the corner here.
Talked about Pascal Calvino and his dual affiliations with Italy and Switzerland. We talked to Dom Castiata recently, being English and Italian. He said he couldn't lose last time, but now with Italy out, he's kind of hoping to win tomorrow.
The competition is heating up this summer on CBS. Sacramento Republic FC look for revenge against a red-hot Oakland Roots SC on Sunday, July 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern. And on August 3rd, a 4 p.m. surging Detroit City FC hosts newcomer Rhode Island FC for the first time as the USL Summer of Soccer continues on the CBS network. We'll be hearing about the Summer of Soccer a little bit more on this broadcast, including at halftime.
Charlotte with an early goal as well. One of the other games tonight, Gabriel Obertan. It's against Richmond. Bunch of games tonight. This is the first two at the moment. A couple more later as well. Including an 11 o'clock contest tonight for those night owls of you on the East Coast.
Early goal there, early goal here. Ates Diouf in just the second minute. Taking advantage of an opportunity. Smashing it into the back of the net, his third goal in cup competition.
Yeah, Greenville have settled down though since that goal. Have had the better of the last 15 minutes for sure. Nico Brown getting forward again.
It's a big stretch coming up for Lexington though. This game against Greenville. They've got Omaha next weekend, Tormenta, Madison, all on the docket. It's a lot of tough games for Darren Powell's side. And talking to Darren Powell about it, he said that, hey, last week was a good performance. Now we need to turn good performances into wins. He mentioned it's all about the penalty boxes right now. He really likes how his team plays in between the penalty boxes, but how they defend on one end and how they're attacking on the other is what's been lacking.
Yeah, just really haven't clicked in that final third as of yet. It's hard when you put a bunch of these talented offensive players together. Find your roles, see who's the provider, the creator. Got plenty of goal scorers. Just who's going to create those chances? Meanwhile, Greenville have had no trouble with such things.
Castro puts it back for Wu. The ball knifing inside for Zakowski. Falls to Velasquez. Velasquez holding on to it, now shoots. Falls back to him. Velasquez pokes it inside. The return feed, it's off the post! Greenville margins from equalizing. Another service in.
Lovely work between Castro and Velasquez. It's initially like Velasquez had let his opportunity slip away when he took a couple of extra dribbles, but nice work with him and Castro.
And McKinnon and Castro not on the same page there. One stepping in one direction, the pass going in the opposite way.
And Velasquez finding that space on the edge. We see how high up the pitch Evan Lee is playing right now. Not only a defensive midfielder, but with Chapo Herrera providing that extra bit of security behind him. Evan Lee's really had the free roll. He should have scored that goal last week if he wasn't taken down. Well, sorry, he wasn't taken down. He tried to knock the ball past the keeper, and as a result, he was sent off. Evan Lee found the back of the net the week before. Had an assist as well.
Lee plays it forward for Castro. Castro working on Mendez. Now two bodies on him. It's Cano and Mendez. Looking to jar that one loose from Castro, and their pressure ends up warranting a reward. Now it's Atez Diouf. Squares that ball to Brown. Nico Brown, former Greenville Triumph player, now in his second year with Lexington. As far as the starting lineup is concerned for Greenville, 1, 2, 3, just 3 players who can say they were former teammates with Nico Brown in the starting 11. As Diouf goes running once again. Ball service comes in from Louis Young. We'll track it down again. And pops it up. We're trying to keep it in bounds, and Mendez does the rest. This has been a Lexington team that has struggled on the road thus far this season. We're able to get a draw against Spokane. They have the early lead here. They're just looking for that magic sauce. And as far as Darren Powell's concerned, what they can do about it is make sure they're prepared correctly from the game itself to stay as refreshed as possible as we get another look at that opportunity from Velasquez a couple moments ago.
He didn't quite make quality contact on that. He was falling away to his right. Tried to curl it inside the post with his left. You see here he was falling away. And it was, Marlon Knight was beaten completely. The post saved him this time. Richmond have tied things up. Neil Vignals with a goal there, so we're going to have a hydration break here with the Heat, and rightly so. Pretty even first half. Obviously Lexington with the goal, but I think Greenville certainly had the better of the last 20 minutes or so. Just haven't been able to beat them all night.
Once again, 86 degrees, nearly feels like 100 at Paladin Stadium. It's the second meeting between these two this season, the first of which was way early in the season. A game that Lexington led 2-0. Then Emil Knight was dismissed from the game with a red card. Greenville was able to come back and win that game 3-2 in dramatic fashion. The game that Darren Powell mentioned, that until they lost the player, they felt they were really on top of Greenville for 60 whole minutes and then didn't get to reap any of the rewards of that performance due to the late game drama. Meanwhile, Rick Wright, looking at this Lexington team, mentioned that they've changed their formation recently and have been going more defensive. He mentioned he felt it was going to be a chess match early in the game and was hoping that his side could be the one to get an early goal to beg Lexington to get more aggressive, but Lexington the ones who have the early advantage and since then have been absorbing some of this Greenville pressure. Let's take a look at that goal once again. Atez Diouf getting on the score sheet. Just the second minute starts with Mendez launching this down the pitch. And then, like you mentioned the first time, Ross, a wondrous touch from Atez Diouf to bring that one down.
Yeah, it's more just sort of a hopeful ball. Perhaps Darren Powell had seen something on tape with this Greenville backline. They were caught far too high up the field. Nothing Gunther Ankerberg could do about that one.
Back-to-back clean sheets. Not going to be 3 in a row. Atez Diouf made sure of that at the first opportunity. And Lexington looking to stay on the heels of Forward Madison and their group in Jägermeister Cup play. You talked about it. They were the only team this season in either Jägermeister Cup play or League One play to beat Forward Madison. And what a game that was, too, going down 2 men and scoring at the very end. Kalen Fox giving them the victory. But, I mean, look, you think about what this team has at their disposal personnel-wise, and a lot of people across the league scratching their heads a little bit about how they performed early on in the season, but they do have that to say for it, is that, hey, they're the only team that have beaten Madison yet, and they're more than capable of being a contender in both cup competition and in league competition. It's just about getting that healthier and having all the pieces click together once that takes place.
Yeah, there's 8 teams making the playoffs this year in League One. No time to panic just yet for Lexington fans. As long as they get in there, I don't think any team would fancy facing these guys in a quarterfinal, even if it's at home.
Play having resumed here at Paladin Stadium. 1-0 your scoreline. You just saw the goal from Ates Diouf. Bringing it down and scoring, and as of right now, statistically, the assist not being given to Mendez, but it was Mendez's ball that came down, but it was a couple touches from Diouf. It looked like it glanced off of Jamie Smith. But that could always change as the game goes on. I
think assists should just be given in the spirit of things, Mark. Another stoppage now. What? Not sure what for. Checking the ball. Okay.
Soccer is already such a subjective sport, Ross, that maybe,
well,
the assist.
It was till VAR.
Well,
we saw that today again. Was it a toe? A toenail, perhaps, for Denmark? I think it was offside.
A toenail, and then a little flick of the ball with a finger. That technology is fascinating to me. The contact sensor inside the ball is wild stuff. Don't have to worry about all that nonsense here in USL League One.
Not yet, anyway.
A little bit more traditional. 30 minutes through this one. Lyle McKinnon. It's knocked off the ball there. It's going to be a free kick.
Just the one shot on target so far between the two sides, and it's gone in. 7 shots total, though. 5 for Greenville. Perhaps we'll see a 6th here as McKinnon is back up.
Tune into ESPN2 for a USL Summer of Soccer showdown between Championship Eastern Conference rivals. So we see the contact once again. Charleston Battery, Golden Boot leader Nick Markanek take on Birmingham Legion FC with their dual scoring threats Enzo Martinez and Tyler Pasher. Friday, July 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Here's the free kick opportunity. Jamie Smith and Sebastian Velasquez donning his proper jersey today.
Yes.
Smith pops this one up. And not much threat to that one, not how he wanted to hit that. He damaged his jersey in the wash, that's what we heard.
That's what he claims.
In that game against Knoxville on the road. He was wearing number 98 or something, and it looked like it was 3 sizes too big for him, and he got grief from just about everybody across the Greenville Triumph organization, from players to coaches to staff, and apparently he took it like a champ, but still, definitely something that stuck out to me when I was watching that game.
Yeah, I'm sure they were probably giving him grief about what the actual story was regarding his jersey. The dog ate. That was the old one when you were a kid, right? The dog ate my homework. Maybe the dog ate his shirt.
Diouf. It's bested by Hald there, one of the 2 players who've had to step up into the starting lineup for Greenville.
He's done well over Hald. Rick Wright always raving about his passing ability. We're just wondering about his defensive ability, but good there against Liadi. Excuse me, against Juve.
Pass ended up working out, but an interesting pass from Chapa Herrera there going backwards with Cerritos in the vicinity.
Yeah, Alexis Cerritos, nice little signing for Lexington. Certainly not the true center forward where he's playing tonight. Certainly not his preferred spot, more of an attacking midfielder. With Cameron Lancaster out. Perhaps we'll see Zaliadi later on. More of a number 9 than Cerritos is. Glad to see him back in USL League One. Didn't have a great time in MLS Next Pro.
Back on. Wide to Brown, returns it to Tate Robertson. There's Akon once again. A little bit too much fervor on that pass, sending it forward for Nico Brown. You mentioned earlier the Super League team that's being built by Lexington. Darren Powell, super excited about that Super League team. Mentioned the objective of Lexington to grow the game on both fronts. This means a lot to him personally, especially because his daughter plays professionally, Darren Powell. It's also amazing to see the growth from such a young club. I mean, this is just the 2nd year of its existence, and it's already expanding like this. Super excited about the project, and already has a good relationship with Mike Dickey, the head coach for Lexington's Super League team. Yeah, this game's being...
Some of the crowds in the W League was at the Richmond Ivy with averaged over 4,000 this season.
Yeah.
In the pre-professional league. Oh, a bit of a crunchy challenge by Herrera. Got away with it though. Referee saying it's a Lexington ball. Go, perhaps wanting some words with somebody. Yeah, it was Japa Herrera. Well, now we've changed the referee's changed his mind.
Will be a Nate Schultz throwing at the end of things.
68% possession so far. The moments of quality possession, not much in the last 5 or 10 minutes, that's but mostly in their own half.
Trying to find a response to that early strike from Lexington.
Another one before the break. 5% passing accuracy so far tonight from Greenville. It's impressive, including 69.7% in the final third. Keep that up, lead to some more big chances.
Lexington being stubborn and not gonna let something slip through, at least not yet for Greenville, and when the moments have come, the Triumph not taking advantage of it. It's been the look of this Lexington team as of late, though. A lot of defensive structure. Here's Evan Lee. Now McKinnon drags this one in. Castro with a clutch. Now he shoots. That one glancing off a body. Velasquez. That's a nice ball to the left-hand side. Hold, squares it across. Punched away by Knight, but not out of danger. Akon does the trick there.
Talking about Evan Lee, I had a good chat with Ryan Martin last week at the Loudon game. His dad, Jay, coached Evan Lee in college, and they were talking about about Evan Lee's offensive prowess. And he said every time they were down in college, he would just throw Evan Lee forward as a striker to try and score.
That one just a little bit too ahead of Sebastian Velasquez. Amel Knight into his clutches.
He's an Ohio Wesleyan. Jay Martin is the winningest coach in NCAA history for the Battling Bishops. I always have to get that.
Oh, yeah. I always love a good, unique team name.
Not just the Bishops, they're the Battling Bishops. Mel Knight yet to make a save so far. That one doesn't count. It's just an interception, I guess. Tarkowski
might go down
pounce.
Might go out as a punch.
Yeah, it's a clearance, yes.
There's a touch from Caputo.
So Leo Castro's reaction to that potential chance on the transition. If that pass had found its target, Greenville would have been going the other way very quickly with a chance to score, but just a little too much on it.
A bit clunky there from Evan Lee, but Greenville retained possession. McKinnon, side for Castro.
Oliver Howell, the Dane, saw his team knocked out today in the Euros as well. Oh, lovely.
Zakowski still going. Zakowski didn't hit that right. Now Schultz. Playing it back, Herrera. Velasquez. Tap it to Herrera. Greenville will go back for a moment before trying to find the right way forward. Hauled.
Zakowski did all the hard work there and then just scuffed his shot. Just playing wide tonight again like he did in his recent start. More central early this season when he's filling in. So lovely for Sebastian Velasquez.
Castro. Here's McKinnon once again. Out wide. Makes a move. Diuv gets a stab in. McKinnon's ball into Zakowski, and Zakowski gets knocked over. Ref sets play on.
You can hear the reaction of the crowd. Ben Zakowski got absolutely plowed into from behind. Complaining vociferously about the non-decision. Take another look at it here. Oof. And Tate Robertson pointed at the ball. I don't think... No, I mean, the ball hit Ben Zakowski. Tate Robertson, a lucky boy there. That wasn't a point to the spot.
Definitely seemed like a harsher collision than sometimes when a player goes down in the penalty area. That's a collision right there, and that will warrant a free kick. Christian Liu Young on the challenge.
And Lexington don't mind mixing it up physically. It's the seventh foul already tonight. Game against Knoxville, it was 37 total fouls, 17 for Lexington, 20 for Knoxville. Chance here for a dangerous ball in. No Jamie Smith this time after the disappointing last delivery.
So it's McKinnon and Velasquez.
See, I'd rather see Eli McKinnon in the box for this. I trust Rick Wright's decision when it comes to who takes free kicks, but I'd rather see Mike.
It's McKinnon taking it himself, and maybe that's why.
Yeah, Mom had it covered.
A lot of pace to that one. Not quite on target. Here's another look at it. This is quite a ways away.
Yeah, 2.5 man wall did their job. Another goal in Charlotte. Richmond up 2-1 now. Excuse me, Charlotte up 2-1. Joel Johnson with a goal and an assist now. Returning the favor this time to overtime is Vinyals, as we mentioned. As things should be in the cup. Goals flying in there.
Bit of precarious spot here. Knoxville as well.
Knoxville Madison underway in Tennessee.
Triumph fans trying to propel their team onward. Robertson. He had nowhere to go with that throw, and he made that abundantly clear, and now Cerritos gets clipped.
Yeah, this game is just sort of limping towards the half here. The stoppages. Cerritos went down perhaps a little easily here. Shoved and then slightly clipped. Perhaps trying to earn the card. Certainly wasn't any malice in it from Chapa. He didn't complain about the decision.
Lexington, though, that not possession once again, but gave it away by blasting it down the pitch. Select the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
59% of this game has been played in the middle third so far. As a result, just the one shot on target still. That was the goal.
And that was a play that completely bypassed the middle third of the pitch.
Down goes Zakowski again. It's a little bit of a make-up call there. The referee, though, once you set the tone early for what is going to be a foul, unfortunately, you have to continue with that tone for the rest of the game. Seems like any little nudge at the moment is being called a foul. I mean, that was unlucky. You can see what Nico was trying to do. He was trying to cut back inside to force Zakowski wide, just clipped him accidentally. Certainly a foul.
Herrera leaves it for Velasquez. Not a bad-looking ball.
Good work from Knight.
Knight gets in there, risking his safety to protect this lead. He gets thudded into by Daniel Wu. A hefty collision.
This is an interesting one because I think they called the foul on Wu. As you see from the replay here, Wu wasn't coming really, he was going up for it. He wasn't really going into Knight. Knight was the one that instigated the collision. Daniel Wu ended up with the yellow card. Well, not sure if I agree with that decision. It wasn't like he Wu throws his hands out there. It wasn't like he was coming in on Amal Knight, really. Well, this is, it was a free kick call, so I don't think Amal Knight doesn't have to go off. I'm not sure what the discussion is. A little harsh on Daniel Wu there, I think.
Sean Beer talking to the two captains here, Evan Lee and Amal Knight.
Second yellow card for Greenville. Sebastian Velasquez, the other one in the book. Amal Knight appears to be okay.
Knight with the sun in his eyes. I'll distribute. I'll wait for the numbers tacked on by our fourth official.
Yeah, another free kick.
Ever since that hydro break, Ross, it's been just a clunky game.
It was in that water.
As you can see, 4 more minutes of this one before going to the break. It took just 2 minutes for Lexington to take the lead. And that is where it has stood ever since then. Well, we've actually have to add in a correction here. It's going to be 8 minutes of stoppage time. So still a wealthy amount of ball to be played, and I think that makes a little bit more sense with the hydro break, all these stoppages that we've had. Although 8 minutes is always quite a bit of time. Zakowski with the turn and a shot! Straight out of Male Knight.
First shot on target for Greenville. Took us 46 minutes to get there.
Male Knight will distribute this one. Again, in the final days here of June. Greenville rocking the Pride top during warm-ups. Each player getting their respective warm-up kit auctioned off with the goal of benefiting Upstate Pride. The design was made by the Reedy River Riot, the supporter group for the Greenville Triumph. You've seen them intermittently throughout this broadcast over there in the bottom left corner, providing chants and giving encouragement to the home side. Velasquez with the outside of his boot. McKinnon came running in. Couldn't connect with that one. It's a bit of an awkward exchange there. Cleared away once again. Smith sends the ball inside. Zakowski's down once again.
It was more of an incidental contact from Modesto Mendez. Nearly 70% possession for Greenville in this first half. It's an astounding number. 5 shots inside the box, but just the one on target. It's Oliver Hald. Little excuse me shove out the way. Yeah, as you mentioned, Mike, this game just hasn't had much rhythm. Well, certainly quality rhythm since the break. You mentioned the heat. Perhaps both these teams looking to get into the air conditioning.
Five more minutes of stoppage time here. Wu provides clearance, but doesn't go too far before going out of bounds for another Lexington throw. Here's Cano. Able to slip that one inside, but no one to receive it.
Both coaches as well will be looking to get to the break here and try to settle things down. Just rhythm-wise, Greenville certainly the more effective with the ball. They spent most of it in the middle third, unfortunately. And look dangerous when they are coming forward. Oh, Ben Zakowski, that man there, certainly with a valid claim for a penalty. A few minutes ago. Leo Castro asking for the 6-second rule. Oh, no, it does have a huge boot on it.
That one, the majority of the pitch there. You also get the benefit here of the yard markers to really give you an idea of just how
yes.
far that ball went.
You're doing football stats, you start counting off for the punt.
McKinnon, one-on-one with Christian Liu Young. Plays this one centrally and then booted out emphatically.
Good idea, just too many Lexington bodies in the box. That ball was never going to get through. And McKinnon's had a relatively quiet first half. Darren Powell will be happy about that.
Smith can shoot from here, and he will shoot. I believe it was the last Jägermeister Cup game that took place here. Jamie Smith scored a bomb from about 30 yards out.
It was from exactly the same spot, a little more central. We got a good look at that one. Let's move it.
Looked like it had about the right height as well.
Yeah, just move it not too much to the right-hand post of Mal Knight.
We are approaching the final few moments here in this first half. Got some Jägermeister Cup highlights coming your way at a halftime, along with talking about some of the big broadcasts upcoming in the USL.
Yes, lots of the national TV exposure. Forget about Copa America. Euros. USL Summer Soccer is where it's at.
Absolutely. Diouf. Tried to wind around Daniel Wu. Lost his edge there. Hald will push it forward. That was a good little flick. Lee plays it out wide, but too wide for Ben Zakowski. So they'll go forward again. Rivera over to Schultz. So one more opportunity here for Greenville. Velasquez. Does everything he can to shake off Caputo. Now Schultz plays this one centrally, headed away by Akon. Akon been pretty effective in this game of hitting that eject button and getting the ball out of danger's way. Some good clearances. Velasquez once again. Oh, nearly got by Tate Robertson. Couple of faint clearances, and now it'll go out. Dangerous time to play that kind of game.
The first one, I almost thought Velasquez had clipped his heel, because an interesting place to try such a thing.
Hald plays it inside, headed away. Zakowski nearly brought it down, comes back to him. Zakowski takes a shot, and it almost bends in.
Yeah, Ben Zakowski claiming a handball. The end of the half? Yeah.
That will be where this one wraps up. 53 minutes were played, just 2 minutes in. It was Ates Diouf who scored. We get a look at this last moment once again. Not too far off for Ben Zakowski, but not quite enough, which is probably the story you could say about Greenville offensively in the first half of action as they tried to find a response after that early goal from Ates Diouf. 1-0 your scoreline in round 5 of the Jägermeister Cup. The road team with the advantage. We'll step aside right here on ESPN+.
At Piedmont Natural Gas, being a part of the communities we serve is important to us because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
The lottery isn't about jackpot winners. It's about investing in our students. Even when it began in 2002, it was lottery proceeds that helped fund new technology initiatives in schools across South Carolina. And when students booted up those screens for the first time, they discovered a lifelong love of learning that shaped them into the professionals and people they are today. When you play the lottery, the real winners are always our students. After all, education is our middle name.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we're proud to be a family-owned practice serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
South Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's reliable, that stays affordable. To do this, we're investing in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that South Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
We welcome you back here to Greenville, South Carolina. 1-0 your scoreline between Lexington and Greenville. This is round 5 of the Jägermeister Cup. So let's take a look at round 4 highlights. What happened last time all these teams played. Downey Barnes is going to take care of you here.
Well, let's look back on round 4 of the USL Jägermeister Cup, and we begin in Knoxville. 1-0 early in the second half against Lexington. Rivalry game, and they grabbed the lead in the 50th minute. Jalen Chrysler powering home that goal. Again, the short routine worked well. Johnson with the cross in, and Chrysler able to split the defense. It's been an issue for Lexington this year, and it haunted them again as they fell behind in the 50th minute. And then in the 74th, 1-0 would put it away. It looked like this ball was headed out of play, but kept in brilliantly and slammed in by Francis Ross, who arrived at exactly the right moment. 2-0, 1-0 over Lexington SC. On to Richmond then in City Stadium, where Charlotte Independence defeated Richmond Kickers with a goal in first half stoppage time. Tapped in by Juan Obregon, set up beautifully by his teammates. A really well-worked goal. You see Obregon toward the beginning of it as he got that ball moving to the top of the area and then was on the receiving end as well. And Charlotte would hold on despite some good chances for Richmond and some pressure in the second half. Adrian Billhart splitting the defense with a line-breaking pass there. It looked like it was going to spin across the line. Brilliant clearance off the line. Second ball was over the net, and it would end 1-0 to Charlotte. In Chattanooga, Forward Madison looking to stay hot, and they would indeed, as they scored the game's lone goal in the 43rd minute. Juan Galindrez, what a goal. Whether you want to call it a bicycle kick, a scissor kick, something in between, it was spectacular. One of the goals of the season in USL, whether in league or in cup play, and Galindrez put Forward Madison ahead just before the break. Chattanooga would also come close in the second half. They had chances as well. Couple chances here, that went into the side netting, but it just wouldn't go for Chattanooga. Ricky Ruiz here also firing on goal. Second ball from Javon Marsh, fired across the face. It stayed out, and Forward Madison held on for the 1-0 win. The crazy game of the round happened in Northern Colorado. Bruno Rendon would score the game's opening goal. All these goals happened in the second half. It was 0-0 at halftime. Clayton Torr leveled in the 61st minute for Fuego. That was just the start of the chaos. 4 minutes later, Jackson Diedrich made it 2-1 in favor of Northern Colorado. 5 minutes after that, in the 70th, it would be Ethan Horde rising to nod that home. It was 3-1. Looked like Northern Colorado would cruise from there, right? Not so, because back came Central Valley in the 80th minute. Robert Coronado converting a penalty just past the diving keeper, and that was 3-2 with 10 minutes left. And just 3 minutes after that, it was 3-3. Ball served in from the left side. Raul Mendiola able to roll it in. All even at 3, but just a minute after that, Northern Colorado grabbed the lead again for good. From close range, Danny Robles finished 4-3, hailstorm extinguishing Fuego. On to South Georgia then. Another great game, this one between Tormenta and Greenville. We saw 2 goals in the first 13 minutes here. In the 5th, it was Leo Castro, the veteran. Aren't those Greenville kits sharp, too? 1-0 in favor of Greenville. In the 13th, Tormenta were level. Nice cutback that took a kind deflection from Tormenta's standpoint, and Augustine Wayner was on hand to make it 1-1. It would stay 1-1 until late in this game. Looked like perhaps we were headed for penalties, but then Liam McKinnon showed up, as he always does. The Liam McKinnon show continuing here in 2024. In the 80th, he put them ahead 2-1. And in the 89th, with Tormenta pushing for the equalizer, they got caught on the counter, and Liam McKinnon made them pay again. 3-1, Greenville defeating Tormenta. On Thursday, the 13th, Omaha and Spokane. This was an opening goal, or I should say an equalizer for Omaha. Take it back. That was the first goal, 1-0 in favor of the Owls as Misael Rodriguez continued his hot start to the year. Former Owl Luis Heel would level it up in the 33rd as he powered it past former teammate Rashid Nuhu. It was 1-1. In the 63rd, though, Union Omaha grabbed the lead for good. From the corner kick, Pedro Dolabella continuing his terrific campaign. Then in the 82nd, Lagos Kunga, all by himself, dribbling through the right side, beating the goalkeeper from that angle. And then Steven Dos Santos would add another in stoppage time. And the Owls, a convincing 4-1 victory over Spokane to get them back in contention in Group 2.
There's a new airline in town. Breeze Airways has arrived at GSP International Airport with nonstop flights to 5 cities nationwide. Enjoy low fares, no change or cancellation fees, and convenient nonstop service. Make your next trip seriously nice on Breeze Airways. Visit flybreeze.com to book your flight from GSP today.
We welcome you back here to Greenville, South Carolina. 1-0 your scoreline after 45 plus, and an emphasis on the plus there.
Yes.
Lexington leading Greenville 1-0 on the road in this Jägermeister Cup clash. You heard us say a couple times in that first half, the summer of soccer. And what does that exactly mean, the USL Summer Soccer? Well, what it means is big games on big television channels and streaming services. Look at the slate that we've got coming up in these next 2 months. And of course, the one that we're going to hone in on is that one top left corner. Richmond Kickers and Ford Madison making their League One debut on the CBS Sports Network. Now, Ross, on ESPN2, we got to see Brees Stevens Field. We got to see just how exciting it is to see a game there, to watch a game there and show it to a broader audience. Now we get to see the flip side at City Stadium, which is another one of the great venues in USL League One represent itself. These are 2 great teams in both the fan culture side of things, but also in gameplay-wise to represent the league in this debut.
Yeah, I was just looking at this entire picture, 12 games over the span of a month. You mentioned that first one, the Henny Derby. Yeah, City Stadium will be packed and rocking for that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a game, the Henny Derby, so famously founded by Elliot Barr and Kyle Carr, a fan-started, black-led fan rivalry, derby, matchup, whatever you want to call it. It's great. It's awesome. We can't wait for it, and we can't wait for the second half here on ESPN+. 1-0, your scoreline, highlights, and stats are coming up next, and then the second 45 coming your way.
It starts with only one tap to have total home control with Priority One Security. You can view your cameras and video doorbells, integrate our smart locks, lights, thermostats, and control your garage doors. Customize your smart devices to fit your schedule with our automated controls for a smart, effective, and secure way to protect your home. Experience total control and complete security from the convenience of our one app, one tap smart security and home automation on demand. Call Priority One Security and tap that app. Official partner of the Greenville Triumph.
At At Piedmont Natural Gas, being a part of the communities we serve is important to us because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player, like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
This broadcast is brought to you by Blue Choice Health Plan, celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2024. Blue Choice offers a variety of health and dental plans to serve the needs of South Carolinians. Learn more at bluechoicesc.com. Jägermeister Cup is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Jägermeister Cup. Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first 53 minutes of action here at Paladin Stadium. Mark Schoenster, Ross Davenport with you on the broadcast. And it started out in the 12th minute, actually the second minute to correct our graphic there. Ates Diouf, what a touch that was, and what a finish it was to beat Gunther Reichenberg. And there, folks, is the lone goal in this game happening in the first chance of the game.
Yeah, listen, if you're going to play a high line like Greenville were there early, you got to put some pressure on in that middle third, and that's exactly what Greenville didn't do there. Lovely ball, lovely touch, and lovely finish.
And in the 19th minute, Greenville from then on will try to find an opportunity to put it into the back of the net. They'd have a couple of chances, half looks, maybe 3/4 a look. They couldn't quite get anything better than that one there, though. Nate Schultz just couldn't put it on frame. You mentioned it, Ross, that he's usually the guy providing the service, and maybe some of that inexperience demonstrating itself here.
There's a lovely ball in from Zakowski. Schultz was in the right place, unmarked, and just couldn't get that header down.
And in the 23rd minute, another opportunity for Greenville. Sebastian Velasquez with a good little 1-2 here. One opportunity, and the second one would fall to him thanks to Leo Castro, and it would go off the woodwork. Oh, so close to bending in for Velasquez. Amel Knight was nowhere to be seen to make the save. So if it had just been margins closer to the right, it would have been 1-1 at that point. But still, Lexington retain that 1-0 advantage. A couple other opportunities like this for the Greenville Triumph as they look to find that equalizer, but they couldn't get it. As we look here at the halftime stats brought to you by Coca-Cola. Ross, it was the half that Greenville really dominated as far as possession is concerned, having 71% of possession. As Lexington and Greenville look to go into the left-hand side, meanwhile Greenville to the right.
Yeah, see if either team makes changes at the half. See any initially for Greenville. First quick look. Velasquez there in the center of your picture, probably one of the most impressive in the first half for the home team. Certainly showing off his class. You see a bit of strapping on his right knee.
He was very involved in that little 1-2 with Castro, one of their closest chances to finding the back of the net. We'll see what these two teams have in store for us here in the second 45 minutes of action. Greenville trying to maintain their hold on the top of the East group. Meanwhile, Lexington looking to keep up with Forward Madison. Just a point behind them coming into today. Greenville going right to left, Lexington left to right. Just about everything being squared away from our officiating crew. As it currently stands right now, Lexington are at the top of their group. Lexington still all tied up with Knoxville. And we are back and ready for some more Jägermeister Cup action here at Paladin Stadium. The sun has set a little bit more. Maybe that'll help with the heat, as it was boiling during that first 45 minutes of action. It was hot enough to warrant a stoppage in play. Players to get a chance to take a breather, get some water. And then after that break, the process of the match got very jerky.
That's a good word.
Kennan and Liu Young. A little bit of tug of war there. And out for a corner kick. Quickly taken.
It's the fourth one of the game for Greenville. Lexington haven't had one yet.
McKinnon trying to hit that one cleanly, and instead it bends outward.
A couple of big stats from the first half. Passing accuracy in the opposition half. Greenville 80.3%. Lexington 51.9. Obviously hadn't had a ton of possession in the opposition half, with only 28.5% possession overall. Greenville have had 200 more passes than Lexington so far, but they've got to turn it into a goal, or it's all for naught. Oops.
Male Knight at 6'3".
Uche felt that one.
Clunking into Uche. That's not someone you want running into you like that. Of course, most keepers are usually pretty big in stature. Liu Young just taking this all the way down the touchline and wins a throw-in. Liu Young plays it in centrally. Cerritos ambitious there. Uche does well. Akon. Playing it forward to Diouf, and we'll sputter out for a free kick. Here's Nico Brown to Diouf. Diouf with a touch. Diouf back inside. He shoots. Tried to pick out a corner.
First half-decent chance in a long, long time for Lexington. Diouf creating it again.
We will walk this one forward as continue to try and find an equalizing opportunity. Lexington, you mentioned earlier the inaccuracy in the opposing half. I think partially that's because many of their passes in the opposing half have been more so on transition opportunities, breakaway chances, or those long balls that don't have quite the same success rate as some of these short connections Greenville have been able to establish in Lexington's half. Here's Hald to McKinnon. McKinnon, distance effort! Off the woodwork again for Greenville.
Like McKinnon, one of those guys now, almost every time he takes a shot, you expect it to go in. That one was hit with such venom. Mile Knight beaten again, once again saved by his right-hand post.
Hald. The one touch. Able to get to Lee after Lee fights for it. Now Herrera. Floats this one forward. Zakowski went up for it, but couldn't quite get over it. Talking about the 6'3" of Male Knight. Ben Zakowski just 5'8".
Yeah, right start to the half again, once again for Greenville. And McKinnon, what a rocket that was. Take another look at it here. The time Mile Knight got down the ball, he's lucky the ball didn't hit the post and hit his back and go in. It almost did. It bounced a little lower. It would have been an own goal.
McKinnon making a run. Serves in the high cross. Well, too high.
Yeah, just snatched that one a little bit. So Leo Castro in the middle. Too much juice.
When it came to messaging and training as of right now, at least for in the last week, Darren Powell mentioned that these guys need to focus on the next play one way or another, whether the previous play was positive or it was negative. Just take it one play at a time, and I think once they get it clicking, they're going to be a really good squad. I think that's a sentiment that at least Ross and I share, and I think a lot of the league shares, is that this Lexington team, the rest of the league doesn't want to see it happen, but they're anticipating it happening.
No, listen, the two guys, Yankum and Lancaster, really what they were building this team around, there's no doubt about it. They're both out at the moment. It's a completely different squad.
Velasquez takes a shot, let it fly, and goes over top for a goal kick. About Darren Powell mentioned that his side has had many positive moments that show that there's another gear in there. And they just got to get healthy and have a consistent 11.
Yeah, once Lancaster comes back, you can imagine Cerritos dropping back into the attacking midfield along with Yannick Yankum. That's certainly a trio I wouldn't want to face in the postseason.
Absolutely not. Evan Lee heads this one out for the throw in deeper into the pitch.
The old creeping up the sideline attempt by Christian Liu Young.
Blasted ball over the corner. Schultz is going to have to handle two different players. Nico Brown.
Ooh,
they're going to call a foul there.
Tate Robertson.
Jamie Smith, maybe it was some theatrics after the fact.
Referee Deshaun Beard with another puzzling decision. I thought Tate Robertson did well there, avoided the foul, got to the ball with his body first. Deshaun Beard disagreed with me, not for the first time tonight. Jamie Smith pleading his case to take it quickly.
Jamie Smith, not a name Lexington fans like to hear. He's been the party spoiler 2 separate times in the brief history of this Lexington-Greenville series.
Doesn't love a late goal. There's Jamie Smith.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on the Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app.
Ben Zakowski with some space, but he's not on the same page as Sebastian Velasquez. Wasted opportunity there. Greenville now with 14 shots to 4. Plenty of options on the bench for Rick Wright if he obviously chooses to switch things up offensively and try and get something going here. Zion Scarlett as well as Hayden Anderson. 2 wide options, Corvino and Anguiano in the middle.
Mendez. Liu Young.
Lexington also with some offensive talent on the bench. Jaden Onan, as well as Azad Liadi. Depends what Darren Powell wants to achieve here, though. Just try and shore things up at the back.
Yeah, I think as of right now, they're following that blueprint of getting 3 points on the road, which is just absorbing and taking what the home side dishes at you and then putting away the opportunities that fall at your disposal. Even if those opportunities are fewer and farther between. Montez Diouf will go into the books. It's his 3rd yellow card in Jägermeister Cup play, which is more than in his league tally, which is just 2. It seems like Otis Diouf, as far as the stat sheet is concerned, just racks them up in every category in Jägermeister Cup play, having not scored a goal in league matches, but now has 3 in the Cup. That yellow card brought to you by GSP Airport.
I'm going to assume that they all get tallied up, right, Mark? I can't, if I've looked to see if they do. I know they've translated over, red cards been translated over from Cup to League, so I assume the total may carry over as well.
Line McKinnon lets it fly once again, rolls out of bounds. They're going to get a substitution here. Saad Liati is going to sub into the game, usually donning number 9, but wearing a 24 jersey, so we were talking about Sebastian Velasquez.
More jersey. I was going to say the jersey looked a little big for him.
And now we've got Liati coming in.
And the name on the back was also a hint. More jersey problems. Well, slow him down a bit, perhaps. Smile there, perhaps. Brown giving him some grief about it. Or was that Diouf, excuse me, on that right-hand side?
Liati gets a header on it, and Jamie Smith is able to launch it up the pitch. Uche has to get that one out of harm's way. Corner kick for Greenville. McKinnon for a moment looked like he was going to hurriedly take that corner kick as he rushed the ball over to the corner, but then now they'll take their time. Hopefully get the best set piece they possibly can here.
Liati assists in 3 straight games against Greenville.
McKinnon with the ball inside, headed upward. Akon does well. Velasquez by one man. Pokes inside for Smith. He couldn't hit it, and it's cleared away by Diouf. Would have been a good spot for Jamie Smith if he could connect.
That was a defender's whiff, for sure. Jamie Smith, more useful with his head off from long distances.
Seems like it's been one thing or another for Greenville in this game thus far that's keeping them from getting on that score sheet. Lexington been hanging tight thus far. How quickly can they test that? Got a player down for Greenville. Liati. There was a lot of contact there from Daniel Wu.
It was a good yellow card, though. Daniel Wu will take that one all day. Liati was off to the races with support.
I believe Daniel Wu's already on a yellow card, which means he's been sent off.
Maybe not so good of a yellow card.
Daniel Wu is out of the game with his 2nd yellow card.
Well, the first one was very debatable. That was the collision earlier on with the Mile Knight. It's disappointing for Daniel Wu.
I mean, there's so much contact here that you have to give the yellow card.
Yeah, it's not. Went from a good yellow card to a bad one because it seems like he forgot that he had one. That was just a professional foul by Wu. He knew that was the end of his night. Greenville now with a steep hill to climb. Let's see if they change things up formation-wise at the back. They have played 3 at the back a good amount this season. So probably Smith, Schultz, and Hall for now. We'll see if Brandon Fricky makes an appearance. Don't think Tyler Pollack's quite ready to get back in the mix.
So, Lexington up a player and up a man now.
Nick Wright striking a frustrated figure. Wisely so. It was Jamie Smith goes down under some contact.
So, fans, download the Fan Saves app and follow the Greenville Triumph for access to exclusive deals at your favorite restaurants and breweries. So Greenville now really in a hole. One player down. And a goal down, Velasquez. And now we got 2 players down, and we'll have another free kick incoming. Let's see. Set pieces, often referred to as the great equalizer. So even when you're down a man, if you can just execute on a set piece, that's when you can find some magic, as Mendez goes into the books. Stamping on Leo Castro there. Jamie Smith all by himself from the set piece. We'll see if he opts to try to take a shot here, or if Rick Wright and his staff has something drawn up for his guys. It'll be Jamie Smith. That shot thudding into the wall. Second ball floats up, and it looks like it'll be a corner kick. May have grazed off of Cano. It looked like it may have. So the Triumph, another set piece opportunity here. Velasquez, ball serves in. And contact as a player goes down in the box, and both Schultz and a member of Lexington on the turf, and doesn't look too good here for the initial reactions. And on the head, it's Modesto Mendez once again. So he'll get 10-2. It'll be, let's see, all this hashes out. Free kick incoming for Lexington, or a drop ball. A lot of vitriol with some of these decisions in this one from both sides. Greenville Triumph down a man, Daniel Wu, with his second yellow card. Means that Lexington with a goal in the second minute. Gives them not only the goal advantage, but the player advantage as well. Last time these two teams met, it was Greenville who got to go up a man and end up working very much to their benefit. Perhaps Lexington will be able to return the favor here. Although retaining a lead is the first priority, racking up some goals is also not a bad idea here if you're Lexington. Maybe getting a bit more aggressive, not at the expense of allowing things to open up in the back, but you try to enjoy some more possession now that you have that advantage. Push it into Greenville's half of the field. Not the worst of plans, given the incentive to score those goals. Diouf rushing it forward. Caputo playing it forward for Brown. Nico Brown steps inside. Brown to Diouf. Diouf gets pushed down just outside the 18. Ref does not blow his whistle. Evan Lee driving this forward. Tried to connect with Castro. And it's knocked up the field. Greenville still with their foot on the gas despite being down a man. Here's Evan Lee. And a whistle blows, stopping that attack dead in its tracks. An offside flag goes up. Rainy River Riot not happy with that decision. I'll let their opinions be known. USL League One is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. You saw at halftime the USL Summer of Soccer in full effect coming up in July and August. A lot of great opportunities for games to be showcased on national television, including the CBS Sports Network debut for USL League One with the Henny Derby this Wednesday. An exciting time to be a USL League One fan, to be a USL fan in general, with the Super League also announcing their partnership with Peacock. Get the coverage for those games. Right, starting to load up some substitutions. We'll see when those players come on. Zakowski with a juggling touch, and the half volley from Castro suffers a deflection. So Zion Scarlett and Hayden Anderson getting ready to come on. And that's Zakowski's last moment of the game. Scarlett will be taking his place. You can also see Jaden Onen preparing his entrance. He'll step in. The substitution brought to you by Spinks. Jaden Onen so making his entrance. You see Hayden Anderson subbing on for Nate Schultz. That substitution brought to you by Spinks. Beates Diouf, the goal scorer, who makes his exit for Lexington Sporting Club. We'll be looking to help it preserve this advantage. McKinnon trying to put it back in the mixer. Akon goes down. Free kick incoming. Yachty getting in a push there. Ebenezer Akon, the Ghanaian defender. He gets taken down there as Lexington continue to hold on to this 1-0 advantage. Also a player up once again. Onen put that one too far ahead of Cano, but it falls back to Onen. He's able to stab it away from McKinnon. Now Lou Young. Lexington enjoy a bit of possession here in the attacking half. Onen with the ball inside. Robertson. To Nico Brown. Making a move. Brown back Back up top, Caputo takes a shot. Not on target. Feels like the first time Lexington's had the ball since they've gone up a man. At least had the ball in any promising fashion. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Here's Liotti. Liotti takes the shot, hits the side netting. The angle was too tight.
Fans, don't forget to join us in the Michelob Ultra supporter section to get autographs from your favorite Triumph players post-game.
Greenville this week had their Pass It On session where players and coaches hosted a clinic with the youth in the area. Rick Wright mentioned that they've been doing it. He's been doing it for the 6 years he's been here in Greenville, South Carolina, and the club takes it very seriously. So the guys love to do it when they get out there, and they had over 80 kids on Wednesday. I mentioned a few weeks ago they did a session at a middle school that was 90% Latino Americans, and Leo Castro spoke to them, and it really connected. Scarlett tried to sneak one through. It'll be a goal kick. There's the opportunity on the other side from Caputo. And the opportunity from Liotti. Just a little recap here for you of the few last moments that have transpired. And then Zion Scarlett just a few seconds ago. Lexington with a goal in the 2nd minute, courtesy of Ates Diouf. A long ball from Modesto Mendez got the job done. And then Daniel Wu getting his 2nd yellow card here in the 2nd half, meaning Lexington are up a man since the 59th minute. Herrera. To Anderson. Scarlett. I'll tell you one thing, losing a player has not affected Greenville on the offensive end. They've continued to press forward. Try to find a moment to strike. Mendez heads it out for a corner kick. McKinnon's cross comes in, glances off of Scarlett, and then it's booted outward. Great ball to Scarlett, one-on-one with Robertson. Ball comes bending in. Bodies go down to the ground. Lexington handles it. That one deflecting off of Deshaun Beard. He'll blow the whistle. Used to be a rule that the referee was a part of the field, but now it's a drop ball situation when it occurs. Another collision. You can see it's drawing the ire. It's Jamie Smith. Quickly, it's a trainer to run out onto the pitch as he goes to the ground. You can hear the following of complaints from the Reedy River Riot and the rest of the Greenville Triumph fans here. look at it. Doesn't look like Liotti, at least with his arm, hit Jamie Smith directly in the head. He will get a yellow card. His first yellow in USL Jägermeister Cup action. A yellow card brought to you by GSP International Airport.
The referee has issued a caution to Lexington's number 24, Azad Liotti, in the 68th minute. Correction, 76th minute.
Once again, reminder, usually dons the number 9, but having to switch into number 24 today. We're going to get another hydration break here. Mentioned when we kicked off here in the second half that perhaps the sun setting would help with the heat, but it hasn't helped enough. Still 85 degrees. Add in the humidity. Feels like 95 degrees. It is just one of those nights in the middle of the summer where it is pretty hard to maintain. Let's take a look at that goal once again. If you're tuning in even 3 minutes late, you missed out on it. Ates Diouf smashing it home 2 minutes into the match. A venturesome ball from Modesto Mendez. Diouf got behind Daniel Wu, who is since then been sent off. Darren Powell will talk to his guys and look to see this one to the finish line. Take a look at some of the score lines across the Jägermeister Cup. An exciting 2-2 game between Richmond and the Charlotte Independents. Getting the memo that goals are wanted in the Jägermeister Cup. That memo has not quite hit yet in Knoxville, as that game is 0-0 in the second half between Ford Madison and 1 Knoxville. If you're a fan of Lexington, I think a draw is probably what you want in that one to keep Knoxville and Madison behind you. If Knoxville were able to win that game, that would put them at 10 points, which would still keep them behind Lexington, but that's 2 points total being dispersed in your group as opposed to 3 points. As it currently sits, Lexington with 11 points at the top of the Central Group. Greenville, despite trailing, do have the benefit that the Charlotte Independents and Richmond Kickers are tied up, which means neither of them getting 3 points. The Independents, if they win that game, would find themselves at 9 points equal with Greenville, but they would need another goal, which would then pass Greenville in the goal scored category. Both of them also having 7 goals scored thus far in Cup competition. Once again, 3 groups, 3 winners move on. That 4th and final spot goes to the team that scores the most goals in Jägermeister Cup play, not goal differential. Aiden Anderson gets bumped in the back by Nico Brown. Means it'll be Greenville possession. Whistle blows, and for a moment it looked like a reach into the pocket, but that was to stow away the whistle potentially. Greenville free kick. Velasquez floats this up, headed centrally. Jamie Smith is still there with it. Dangerous clearance. They'll go out for a corner kick. Went with something creative here on the set piece. Ebenezer Akon had to do something about it, or Smith was going to be able to put that on goal or put it across for somebody else to pick up. Velasquez sends the service in. Scarlett back across the center. Jamie Smith gets a piece of it. Players are down. Leo Castro sprung up for it, and he got connection with the ball, but not enough contact to push it towards goal. Another dangerous moment for Greenville, down a man since the 59th minute. Yellow card being given there to Abel Caputo. Once again, like to reiterate the fact that Lexington are up a player, and Greenville continue to apply the pressure here and create chances as they look for an equalizer. The yellow card brought to you by GSP International Airport. Holds, ball comes in. Castro was inches away from it, but a male knight, with the advantage of using his hands, punches it away and then bowls over top of Castro. It's a male knight who's looking like he's the one worse for wear. It's definitely been a unique game, that's for certain. It was a bizarre fixture the last time these two teams met, and it seems that this year may just be the pattern. This one skips inside Velasquez. Bounces away from him. McKinnon able to get that one off of Lou Young. Now he'll leave the throw in for a teammate. Hayden Anderson has the ability to loft that throw far. And that's exactly what they're going to allow him to do. Kicks back one of the boards in the process so we can have a proper run up. Anderson with the launch. It's a good one. Punched away by a male knight. And it's worth reminding it was a Hayden Anderson throw-in that resulted in the game-winning goal the last time these two teams met. So Lexington more than familiar with the danger of those long throws as we get another corner kick. Greenville not letting up here. If you didn't know any better, you would think that if you heard in this game a player had been dismissed, you would think maybe it was a Lexington player the way the game has flown. The flow of the match has all been in favor of Greenville as they continue to try desperately to find that goal. Velasquez bends it in, punched upward by Knight. Mendez does really well there, preventing the corner kick. Another service. Smith, how about that touch? Now Herrera tried to play it centrally. Herrera wins it back for Greenville. Velasquez plays it inside, and it's deflected outward for another corner kick. Down a man and down a goal in round 5 of the Jägermeister Cup. Can Greenville fight back in this one against Lexington? Velasquez plays it in, and it goes by everybody. Onan provides clearance. Header centrally. Knocked away. McKinnon with the volleyed effort. Deflects up. Castro keeps it in play. Deflects off a defender and over. Something had to be done there by the center back. And now another corner kick. Velasquez connects with Castro. And then a foul in the box means a free kick for Lexington. So we're gonna get some substitutions here. Pascal Corvino and Brandon Fricke in, and this will be our adjustment of the match presented by Upstate Spine and Sport. Pierre Mane also coming in for Lexington. Look to provide some more stability. So it's Fricke in for Jamie Smith. Brandon Fricke looking to get back to full health. Pascal Corvino coming in for Sebastian Velasquez. We'll see if those adjustments are enough to push Greenville to find that goal. Pierre Mane, a stabilizer for Lexington. Also in during that substitution window. The substitutions brought to you by Spinks. Routed ball through Castro. Pretty inventive there as he looked to connect with Herrera. Probably have a good chunk of added time tacked onto this one due to the hydration break, and we've had quite a few stoppages here in the second half as well. I'm not sure if we'll get 8 minutes like we did in the first 45 minutes. But don't anticipate it just being 1 or 2. McKinnon couldn't corral that one in, but it's knocked out for a Greenville throw. Herrera wipes out. He's not feeling well after it. Laboring his left leg. Appears he's trying to walk it off. It's Brandon Fricke. Usually the one to wear the captain's armband this season for Greenville, but after getting hurt, he's had to work his way back. Rick Wright has described him as a madman in training recently. He's been bringing the ferocity. Imagine for any player just how eager you are to get back into the fray of things after getting hurt. And Robertson gonna get a yellow card for time wasting. His second yellow card in Jägermeister Cup play this season. It's now been 30 minutes since Daniel Wu received his second yellow card. Bit of a tug there means Greenville will keep possession. Pierre Mane not able to dribble that one forward. It's a yellow card in the process, brought to you by GSP International Airport. So 90 minutes have expired. Now it's up to the fourth official to determine how much more time is left in this game. McKinnon sneaks this one inside. It'll be 7 minutes of stoppage time. That's how much longer Lexington have to hold on. And that's how much more time Greenville have to find an equalizer. 21 shots for Greenville. But that may be a little bit misleading. Just one shot on target out of those 21 shots. McKinnon. It falls to Castro. Leo Castro with it. Takes the shot himself, parried away. Corvino can't put it on frame. Pascal Corvino looking for his first professional goal. It wasn't to be there. Might have been exactly what Castro was looking for, just trying to put something on frame. That is the second shot on goal now for Greenville. Nico Brown slow to get up. Deshaun Beard blowing the whistle to make sure everything is good on that front. McKinnon sends it in. No one's there for it, Mane will let it bounce out for a goal kick. Knoxville have scored in that game against Forward Madison, which means that they're now tied up at 9 points apiece in the group. Lexington all alone with 11 points as it stands. Frank Ross getting on the score sheet. Lexington fans maybe will want to tune over to that one after this one's concluded. Shout out to all of you who've been tuning in from Lexington or wherever you may be watching your team on the road. Hang tight in this one. It's a scary game to have to watch as a fan when your team goes up super early and then is just trying to preserve that lead for the rest of it. Nico Brown leads on Caputo. Caputo out wide to Robertson. Will do what he can to stall out seconds as they hold possession. Would have anticipated more of this after the dismissal of Daniel Wu, but that hasn't been the case. Christian Liu Young. Tugs from Christian Liu Young and Ryan McKinnon showing some evident frustration as we're halfway through the allotted 7 minutes. Can Lexington hang on? Three more minutes to go. And as this one takes on further and further, Gunther Rankenberg might push himself up and further up the pitch. Hall sends this one to the corner, and Scarlett can't keep it in play. Second goal in that Knoxville game, so it looks like the honor that Lexington got to carry coming into this one as being the only team to best Madison, the only League One team to best Madison this season in any competition. Looks like One Knoxville are going to be joining that party unless there's a comeback from Matt Glazer's side. I think the honor of finding some form and getting on a run here is the kind of honor Lexington really want to hang on to. They've been looking for a string of confident wins, confident results, and going on the road and getting one here in Greenville would definitely be a way to get that kick started. Corvino goes down. McKinnon is going to look to keep it going, but ref not going to play advantage. Instead, going to award a free kick. This is an interesting angle. See how Greenville line up, how Lexington responds. Amel Knight coordinating the wall as we speak. Right now it's just Liam McKinnon by the dead ball. 1 more minute of play to go. McKinnon takes the shot. It's punched over. Amel Knight getting a high five from Tate Robertson. Here's a look at it again. Corner kick for Greenville. How many more chances are in this game? Service comes in, and it's into the breadbasket of Amel Knight. Got a couple of stoppages here in the added 7 minutes of time, so it's up to Deshaun Beard for when this one is over. But we have hit, or practically hit, that 97-minute mark. It goes out for a Lexington throw. The ref offering that correction as Chapa Herrera was looking to throw it back into play. Young tosses it to the corner for Liotti. And that'll do it here from Paladin Stadium. Lexington score 2 minutes in and then hang on for over 100 more minutes when you account for the added time. They get all 3 points on the road in this Jägermeister Cup competition. 1-0 your final score. Great showcase. A gutty showcase from Darren Powell's side. Was definitely not the most comfortable of performances. But when you can get points on the road, especially 3 points on the road, you take it and you celebrate. We're gonna step aside for a moment. When we come back, we'll get our post-game thoughts, our highlights, our stats, and all of that on the other end here on ESPN+.
New flavors, the same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador, spiked bebidas.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Quick toward Bill Hart. Adrian Bill Hart. Richmond are level in stoppage time. Oh, it's volleyed in. Galindres. Wow. Unbelievable.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. Like in 2005, when lottery proceeds helped purchase new school buses that kept South Carolina students on the road to success. Because arriving safely to school every day is the first important step on their journeys to the careers and lives they've always dreamed of. When you play the lottery, you're helping fund the futures of students all over our state, which is why education is our middle name.
It starts with only one tap to have total home control with Priority One Security. You can view your cameras and video doorbells, integrate our smart locks, lights, thermostats, and control your garage doors. Customize your smart devices to fit your schedule with our automated controls for a smart, effective, and secure way to protect your home. Experience total control and complete security from the convenience of our one app, one tap smart security and home automation on demand. Call Priority One Security and tap that app. Official partner of the Greenville Triumph.
This broadcast is brought to you by Blue Choice Health Plan, celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2024. Blue Choice offers a variety of health and dental plans to serve the needs of South Carolinians. Learn more at bluechoicesc.com. Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. 1-0 your final score here, Lexington victorious on the road over the Greenville Triumph. Here are your highlights from the first, or from both half. Fall through a red card on Daniel Wu in the second half would mean they'd played down a man for the last 30 minutes, but you couldn't really tell by the flow of the game. Greenville continued to have possession, continued to create chances, but the fact of the matter is they were not able to get enough of them on target and test a male knight properly. They had an expected goal of 1.47. But sometimes it doesn't hit the back of the net. You got to take advantage of the chances given to you, and Lexington did just that. And they will now go home and play Omaha next weekend, feeling pretty confident after getting 3 points on the road. Greenville have 2 weeks off. They'll play in July against also Union Omaha. But that is where this broadcast will end on ESPN Plus for our entire broadcasting crew. For Ross Davenport, I'm Mark Schoenster saying thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.